Well, a good evening, good evening. What's going on to all pro wrestling fans from all around the world of all shapes and sizes? Welcome to another live pro wrestling talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. February has passed. It is now Sunday, March the 1st of 2026. We made it, y'all. We made it through the month of February. March is here. Hope everybody had a great month. Hope everybody is doing well. And yeah, it's a new month. And sooner or later, it'll be a new season. It'll be the season of spring. And there's quite a good bit to look forward to this month, for sure. But I wanted to get on here and talk quite a bit. So, a couple of things. First, I want to go ahead and do my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's The New Beginning in USA, which was this past Friday. I want to review that. I also want to go over my Las Vegas Mania week schedule. So I pretty much have that set in stone. So yeah, I want to go over that. Snorlax and Grooves, I see you. Welcome to the stream. So I want to go over that. But first, before we actually get into the New Japan review, so a couple of things. First off, shout out and congratulations to the team of Dragon Bane and Alejandro, who are this year's Noah Junior Tag League winners. That's right. Came down to the finals between them and Team 2000X's Kai Fujimura and Alpha Wolf. But despite all the shenanigans and all the interference from Team 2000X, Dragon Bane and Alejandro were able to withstand the odds and come out on top with the victory. Alejandro hitting the Sky Twister press on Kai Fujimura, getting a little bit of revenge. After all, Kai Fujimura turned on Alejandro and left All Rebellion to join Team 2000X. And of course, Alpha Wolf turned on Dragon Bane, his brother, and joined Team 2000X as well. So it was pretty neat to see Dragon Bane and Alejandro get a good bit of revenge by winning this tournament, defeating Alpha Wolf and Kai Fujimura in the finals to seal the victory. And with that being said, that means that Dragon Bane and Alejandro have earned themselves a shot at the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, currently held by Los Intocables, which are Daga and Daiki Orashima. And of course, they did come out to congratulate them and, say a couple of words. But I believe they actually have the match scheduled. I want to say that they're going to do the title match on March 8th. I believe that's when they're going to do the match. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. So definitely looking forward to checking that out. Also, Mark True has challenged Amakusa for a shot at the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. Thought that was pretty interesting to see. But hey, think that's pretty cool. But yeah, another title defense for Amakusa. I'm looking forward to checking out, so that should be good. Also, it looks like Keno is finally going to get his shot at the GHC Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Yoshiki Inamura. So got that to look forward to. So yeah. So Noah staying busy. But yeah, so that closes another tournament for Pro Wrestling Noah. Speaking of tournaments, I was just reminded, need to talk about this because New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Best of Super Juniors 33, has been scheduled, and we now know the dates for this year's tournament. So, New Japan's Best of the Super Juniors tournament will begin on May 14th. May 14th, and it will conclude on June 7th. So, looking at the dates, so a good chunk of the tournament is going to be throughout the month of May. But these are the dates that they have and the venues so far. So they'll open up May 14th at Korakuen Hall. And then May 15th at the Esforta Arena in Hachioji. On May 16th in Yoyogi, which I believe it's the Yoyogi Gymnasium. And then they'll be back at Korakuen Hall on May 20th. May 22nd, they'll be in Osaka at the Osaka Asui Arena. Never even heard of that venue. May 23rd, they'll be at the Akriya Himeji. On May 24th, they'll be in Kyoto at the KBS Hall. Of course, that's the venue with the stained glass windows. On May 27th, they'll be at the Kira Messi Numazu, which is in Shizuoka. On May 29th, they'll be in the Niigata Tsubame Civic Gymnasium. On May 30th, which is one day before my birthday, they'll be at the Takaoka Technodome. And then on both June 2nd and June 3rd, they'll be at Korakuen Hall. And then the finals will be on June 7th at Ota Ward, which is the Ota Ward General Gymnasium. So yeah, that's the schedule for this year's Best of Super Juniors 33. They haven't announced the competitors yet. So hopefully, which I mean, it's still early. I mean, it's only the month of March. They still got time. I'm thinking maybe at some point before the end of the New Japan Cup, we'll probably know the competitors for the Best of Super Juniors 33. Because I'm thinking, so the New Japan Cup begins this Wednesday, March 4th, and it will wrap up. When does it wrap up? Actually, I need to get the date down for when it wraps up. I don't even have that. See, I'm dropping the ball. New Japan Cup. Let me see. I believe I had the bracket. Let me see if I can pull up the bracket. Y'all bear with me for 1 second. Because I know I had the bracket. March 21st. That's right. March 21st is the finals. Yeah, March 21st. So, begins on March 4th. Finals is on March 21st. Okay. I just haven't put it on my schedule. I need to actually go through and put it on my schedule. So, that is actually a good reminder. Cool deal. But, well, then again, maybe we'll find out the competitors for the Best of Super Juniors. I guess maybe after the New Japan Cup, since, you know, the tournament will end near the end of March. So yeah, we still got time. So they don't need to rush that. So, it's all good. It is all good. Okay. So, New Japan Pro Wrestling, The New Beginning, USA 2026. Want to go ahead and let's get that review going. So, 1 second. Here we go. So, The New Beginning USA 2026 took place this past Friday, February 27th. It took place at the Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton, New Jersey. And I have to say, it was quite a solid show. For this being their first event in the U.S. for the year 2026, they definitely started the year off with a bang, for sure. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's dive into this review. Alright, first up. Alright, our opening match was a singles match between Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, and David Finlay. A great, hard-hitting back-and-forth match between the both of these gentlemen. Of course, David Finlay went on the preemptive strike early on in the match. Didn't take long for them to start fighting outside of the ring. So, definitely was a very intense back-and-forth match between these two. Lasted 12 minutes, 20 seconds. So, good amount of time for this being the opening match. And, like I said, was definitely back and forth. I thought for a second Fred Rosser had it after hitting the gut check, but David Finlay ended up kicking out. But a solid, hard-hitting back-and-forth match between these two competitors. Really could have gone either way, but it was David Finlay who was able to eventually put away Fred Rosser, hitting an overkill and then pinning him for the 1-2-3. David Finlay, your winner. He got on the mic, looked like he was about to say something, and then just dropped the mic and left. Of course, the Knockout Brothers were waiting for him at the top of the ramp. They posed together, and then they pretty much posed looking out to the crowd. David Finlay one last time before they went to the back. So, not sure if that's going to be... I don't know. And then again, we'll see what happens with David Finlay. I mean, there's a lot of people talking like, you know, he's done with New Japan Pro Wrestling. But the really interesting thing being that he had that match, and of course, you know, he's not in the New Japan Cup. So, like I said, I don't know. Maybe that's the last time we see David Finlay. I don't know. But I got a feeling that that's it. And word is supposedly he's WWE bound. We'll see. But I think that's what it's looking like. Alrighty. Let's go to our next match, which was our first title match of the card. So let's go to that. Let me get the graphic out for that. Here we go. Alright, first title match. Alright, we have the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship on the line. As the champion, the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii, defended against Boltin Oleg. Another solid, hard-hitting match between these two big heavyweights. Definitely went the distance. Lasted a little over 14 minutes. They even had like a segment where they just chopped each other for, it had to have been like a straight 3 minutes. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes of just chopping each other. The crowd was getting up on their feet, cheering for just 2 straight minutes of just chopping each other. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, I think that was probably the loudest the crowd got for that match. But both these guys definitely traded hard-hitting moves. Like I said, it was definitely big meaty men slapping meat, as many like to say. But surprisingly, Boltin Oleg eventually gets the upper hand and nails Tomohiro Ishii with a kamikaze and pins him for the 1-2-3. And Boltin Oleg dethrones the Stone Pitbull to become the new NJPW Strong Openweight Champion. Wow. Congratulations to Boltin Oleg. That's a big win. Big win for him. Enigma, welcome to the stream. Boltin Oleg is strong style. Yes, sir. Too true. Too true. And he definitely proved that in New Jersey this past Friday. But man, I have to say, him and Ishii just having a chop battle for like 2-3 straight minutes was crazy. That was really crazy. But Boltin Oleg made it count and is your new Strong Openweight Champion. So congratulations to Boltin Oleg. All right, let's get into our next title match. All right, here we go. Okay, next up, we had the AEW National Championship on the line as the champion, Ricochet, defended against the Bone Soldier himself, Taiji Ishimori. And this came about because Ricochet actually really wanted to face off against Ishimori. And, of course, ended up putting the title on the line. So, hey, really good stuff. Match lasted 14 and a half minutes. Definitely was pretty intense. Always really cool to see both of these guys, especially share a ring together. I mean, Taiji Ishimori, definitely a long-time veteran. I mean, a super junior at his finest. Ricochet, somebody that I've watched ever since his Dragon Gate days. So, really to see these two go at it. I mean, what took them so long for this to finally happen? But I felt like they made it count. Definitely felt like they made it count. We got to see our share of striking, high-flying, and just seeing these two do their best to one-up each other throughout the match. You know, they definitely... I mean, could it have been longer? Sure. But, I mean, 14 and a half minutes still wasn't bad. You know, especially for these two. I definitely felt like, you know, it was a given that Ricochet was going to win. But Ishimori definitely brought his A game in this match. I mean, even had a moment where he locked in the bone lock on Ricochet, especially after hitting a La Mystica. So, thought that sequence was pretty cool. And, of course, Ricochet taking it to the skies, to the outside of the ring. It was pretty entertaining. A pretty entertaining match. But Ricochet finished off Ishimori, hitting a spirit gun from the back. Then pinning him for the 1-2-3. Ricochet, still your AEW National Champion. But, like I said, pretty solid match between these two. It was really cool to see both of these guys share a ring together. But Ricochet reigns supreme. Still your champion. All right. Let's go to the next entertaining match. This was a match I definitely enjoyed a lot more than I thought I was going to. We had a tag team match where we had the team of KUSHIDA, the time splitter KUSHIDA, and El Desperado going up against the Bustah and the Brain, made up of Jordan Oliver and Alec Price. This was a very well showcased match. Very fast-paced and a clash of different styles here. You got to see a good bit of strong style, technical wrestling, high flying. I mean, there was a lot of flavors in this match. Match lasted just a little bit under 14 minutes, but Bustah and the Brain definitely, they brought it, especially to longtime veterans / super juniors like El Desperado and KUSHIDA. That right there is quite a combination. So definitely not an easy match for Jordan Oliver, Alec Price, but they definitely made the best of it, for sure. Especially starting off with the preemptive attack on KUSHIDA and El Desperado. I mean, which I can understand why they did it. I can definitely understand why they did that. I mean, you got to try to get the upper hand as early as possible on a combo like Despi and KUSHIDA. So, I don't blame them. And, you know, they did their best. They came close, but wasn't going to be enough. As while Jordan Oliver was locked into a hoverboard lock from KUSHIDA, Despi got the finish, hitting the Pinche Loco on Alec Price and pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. El Desperado, KUSHIDA, your winners. Great match between both these teams, and good sportsmanship as well. Well, mainly from El Desperado to Bustah and the Brain. But, like I said, they had their hands full going up against a really strong Super Junior combo in KUSHIDA and El Desperado. So, but hey, they looked good. They looked good in that match, and I don't think that's the last time we'll see Bustah and the Brain in a New Japan ring. I'm confident. Okay, let's go to our next championship match. And I have to say, this one was very entertaining and really went the distance. And you'll see what I mean. All right, next matchup was for the NJPW World Television Championship. As the champion, El Phantasmo defended against the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. Now, as usual, all NJPW World Television Championship matches have a 15-minute time limit. And sure enough, and see, this is a matchup that's happened before. These two very familiar with each other. They both have defeated each other at least once. Chico Too Sweet, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Blood Money, welcome to the stream. But these two definitely went back and forth. I mean, even showed a sign of respect to each other in the middle of the match. And they just went hard. I mean, nonstop. And like I said, this is a rivalry that really has been a greatly showcased rivalry between ELP and Takeshita. A good amount of high flying, good amount of strikes, and really El Phantasmo just really keeping up with Takeshita, who has been on a roll, especially when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Enigma says Takeshita out here racking up NJPW stats. Oh, for reals. You ain't lying there. And when it all came down to it, whew, it came to a time limit draw. Came to a time limit draw. And with that being said, ELP was going to hold on to the title. And, Takeshita, is going to walk away. But ELP got on the mic and said, oh, no. We're not going to end like this. We're not going to end like this. Trenton, New Jersey. Do y'all want to see 5 more minutes? Do y'all want to see a clear winner? I think it's time to go to sudden death. I mean, I would have went with sudden death. But, 5 more minutes. And Takeshita was a little reluctant at first, but he ended up accepting. They went back into the ring. They rung the bell, and they just went swinging. Just went back and forth. And it was intense. The energy was still going. Even though they had that break after the time limit draw, the energy was still there. And these two just laid it all on the line. But it would eventually, about 2.5 so minutes into the restart, Takeshita hit the Raging Fire and pinned El Phantasmo for the 1-2-3. And Konosuke Takeshita is your new NJPW World Television Champion. So, wow, another championship from New Japan for Takeshita. Dude is just, dang. He's won the G1. He's won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. He's won the Never Openweight Championship? And now he's won the TV title. Goodness gracious. Takeshita's just really... This dude is just a beast. And I am so honored that I met him twice. Chico Too Sweet says, I saw ELP versus Takeshita live at Resurgence last year in a banger. One of my favorite matches for sure. Yeah, this rivalry. They've had a couple of matches with each other, and they've been good. Each and every one of them have been good. Proto-Shida, Run TV. Yeah. Now they got that program going. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. But Takeshita, he's been doing his thing in AEW, doing his thing in DDT, doing his thing in New Japan. Got the triple threat contract, and he's making good use of it. So, honestly, it's only a matter of time before he finally becomes AEW World Champion. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, but I believe it will happen at some point. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's go to our next championship match. Here we go. Let's do it. Alrighty, we have the IWGP Tag Team Championships on the line as the champs, the Knockout Brothers of OSKAR and Yuto-Ice, defending against the Gates of Agony, made up of Bishop Kaun and Toa Liona. This was a very entertaining match. Two very strong tag teams showcased very, very well. This match went almost 18 minutes. So this one definitely had plenty of time. Definitely back and forth. Hard hitting. Just the action was nonstop. Inside the ring, outside the ring. I really love the exchanges, especially between Toa Liona and OSKAR, as well as Toa Liona and Yuto-Ice. But, whew. This was a crazy tag title match that, honestly, I wish they could have gone 30 minutes. I kid you not. I wish they could have gone 30 minutes. That's how much I was enjoying it. But like I said, it went 17 minutes, 58 seconds. So pretty much 18 minutes. That's still really solid for these two beastly teams. And was not an easy defense for the Knockout Brothers, that's for sure. Was not an easy defense, but they eventually got their bearings and was able to put away Bishop Kaun with a KOB. Yuto-Ice pin Kaun, 1, 2, 3. The Knockout Brothers, still your IWGP Tag Team Champions. And like I said, that was a very intense tag title match and not an easy victory for the Knockout Brothers. Gates of Agony are a strong team, and they definitely brought their A game. So, yeah, awesome match. Awesome match. But the Knockout Brothers, still your IWGP Tag Team Champs. Alrighty. Let's go to our next match. A match that many have waited a long time for this type of match to finally happen. And February 27th of 2026, it finally happened. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A special singles match for the IWGP Women's Championship. The champion, the leader of God's Eye, Syuri Kondo. Yeah, oh yeah, I said her full name, Syuri Kondo. Defending against the fallen goddess and current forever ROH Women's World Champion, Athena. And my God, did they make this match count. For almost 18 minutes. 17 minutes, 56 seconds was the clocked time. This was a masterpiece. For this being their first singles match. This isn't the first time they've been in the ring together. Because remember, All in Texas, they did share a ring together. But this was their first singles match against each other. Now we have to remember, Athena has faced a lot of Joshi wrestlers. Going from Asuka to Hikaru Shida. She's wrestled a few others. Hiroyo Matsumoto. I believe she's faced Hiroyo Matsumoto. But yeah, she has... there's definitely a reason... Oh, Emi Sakura. But there's definitely a reason that she's called the American Joshi. And I have to say, while many might say that Syuri had this one in the bag, oh, no. She did not have this one easily in the bag. Enigma says, I prayed for this and it happened. Oh, and it happened with authority. Seeing both of these gladiators chain wrestle each other. Seeing them trade strikes. That's right, trade strikes. Now, of course, we have to give Syuri the striking advantage with her kickboxing MMA background. But you best believe Athena matched her blow for blow. Even submissions. Oh yeah, they traded submissions. Athena showed that she was able to definitely match with Syuri and keep up with Syuri Kondo. From start to finish. Even moments in this match where Athena really worked Syuri just as much as Syuri worked Athena. Enigma says she faced Wing Gory, I believe. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Good call. Good call. That is a good point. But yeah. And I really, really hope that indeed this is not the last time we see these two gladiators, these two warriors, whatever you want to call them, face each other. Now, Syuri did get the victory. She did put away Athena with a Suyu Sakai, pinned her for the 1-2-3. Syuri, still your IWGP Women's Champion. And quite an interesting segment afterwards. She extended her hand. Athena slapped it away. The referee went to hand the ROH World Women's Championship to Athena. Syuri took it and just started looking at it. Syuri just started looking at it. Before she eventually gave it to Athena. And it's looking like Syuri wants to add some more gold to her collection. Because remember, she's both the IWGP and NJPW Strong Women's Champion. We got Syuri 2 belts. And it looks like she wants to add some more gold. But Syuri has to make another stop all the way in the UK because she got challenged for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship by Alex Windsor, a name and face that Syuri once battled for the IWGP Women's Championship. But Windsor claims that she is ready for another shot at Syuri. I mean, for a different belt this time, but still, we're going to get Syuri, Alex Windsor 2. Syuri Kondo. Also, backstage interview, accepting Alex Windsor's challenge, but also challenging Athena. Hey, I defended my IWGP Women's Championship successfully against you. I want a shot at that ROH World Women's Championship. I want my shot at that title. I don't know when it's going to happen, but maybe they could save that for something like a Super Card of Honor or Death Before Dishonor. Something like that. I don't know how soon they can be able to set that up, but I'd say, heck, Super Card of Honor. Why not? And if not that, Death Before Dishonor. I don't really see them doing Final Battle because it'll be too close, probably too close to Dream Queendom. So I'm not sure that they'll wait to Final Battle to do that, but I think they could do that either at Super Card of Honor or Death Before Dishonor. Windsor! I see you, Enigma. But, yeah. Syuri. Still double champion. Excellent match. I wish it was the main event. But, we still had an excellent main event. Let's talk about said main event. Because it came down to the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship as the champion, Tsuji defended against Andrade El Idolo. And they gave the New Jersey crowd an epic main event that lasted 26 minutes and 44 seconds. That is quite a battle, quite an interesting matchup between Tsuji and Andrade El Idolo. I mean, both can do some high flying as well. Let's not kid ourselves. Tsuji can do his share of high flying. Tsuji really just... I've always considered him, since he returned from Excursion, I've always gotten that total package vibe from Tsuji. I mean, a good size, not too tall. It was around that 5'10", 5'11". Not too tall, but in incredible shape. Hard hitting, and can do some high flying, and even has a submission in his pocket. Tsuji more and more is showing why this is somebody that New Japan Pro Wrestling, they can really put in his hands. I truly believe that. I believe Tsuji can really be the next ace, no shade to Hiroshi Tanahashi, but the next ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I definitely think this is somebody that they can really get behind, and somebody that really has that mindset to showcase why New Japan Pro Wrestling is the best in the world. But Andrade put up an excellent fight. And Andrade, somebody that I've met. And Andrade has really had quite an interesting journey within the last year. I mean, came back to WWE, now came back to AEW, and then, came back to New Japan. Just Andrade has had a very interesting year. 2025, and then even going into this year. So, and now we find him back challenging for a title in New Japan. You love to see it. But this was hard hitting. This was back and forth. Really went the distance. Like I said, 26 minutes, 44 seconds. But what I thought was going to take a Gene Blaster to put away Andrade, oh, no. Was not enough to put away Andrade. Nor was the message enough to put away Tsuji. So Tsuji had to dial into that back pocket of his and lock in a Boston Crab, which Andrade almost was able to escape, almost got to the rope. Tsuji pulled him back to the middle, couldn't withstand it any longer, ended up tapping out. Tsuji, still your IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, and he's also a double champion. So both double champions, Syuri and Tsuji, victorious at the New Beginning USA 2026. Blood Money says Tsuji has submit 3 AEW wrestlers with the Boston Crab. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. That is a really good point. But I must say, and Tsuji got on the mic and, showed good sportsmanship for Andrade. And, wow, Tsuji did a post-match promo in English. Yeah. I was like, what? I was very shocked. But, yeah, he did a post-match promo in English. Tsuji speaks pretty decent English. I was shocked. I was like, what? Oh, that's crazy. And then Yota Tsuji went around the ring and actually greeted fans around the ring, took some selfies. And it's interesting because this was the same man that kind of had mixed feelings about New Japan shows in the U.S. Because before he felt like the crowds were disrespectful and made him not want to ever do another event in the U.S. But this time was completely different, and Yota Tsuji even stuck around to greet fans. I was like, okay. I see you, Yota Tsuji, the man with the $1 million smile. Enigma says, Andrade, the NJPW, AEW, Don Callis family, United Empire wrestler. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. In multiple factions, it's wild. The walls of Tsuji are unbreakable. Apparently, because nobody's been able to break them. But, wow, shout out to Yota Tsuji. I mean, just coming into Trenton, New Jersey, a big title defense, doing an English promo, and greeting and taking selfies with fans. Shoot. Okay, Yota Tsuji. I see you. I can appreciate that. But yeah, shout out to Trenton, New Jersey, and to the New Japan Pro Wrestling promotion. They put on a really good show. I felt like the crowd was into it throughout most of the night. I know this was, potentially a time where we're probably going to see less and less New Japan events in the States, because that was something that was mentioned, last year. But I don't know, y'all. With them having this good of a turnout and this successful of a show, I mean, each of the matches were solid. There wasn't a single bad match that whole entire card. So, honestly, and then, of course, you got the announcement of July 11th, G1 Climax 36, opening at the Now Arena in Chicago. That's big. That's big. I don't know if they'll do another New Japan event in the States between now and then, but I mean, you never know. I mean, El Desperado's got his Def Vegas invitation for Mania week. So, I mean, you never know, but we'll see. It might be the smart thing to, do these events sparingly. It might be the smart thing to do, but yeah. Job well done. Blood Money says, Blitz, are you going to Chicago for the G1? Nah. I wish, but I got something bigger planned. Okay. Speaking of which, shout out to Rose Girls Pro Wrestling that just had their launch today. The sister promotion, the new Joshi promotion under the 01 banner. They just had their launch. I do hope they put it on Wrestle Universe as part of 01. I really hope they do that, because I would love to go back and watch it, because I don't know if it was live streamed or what, but I hope they put it up on there. Let's see, a couple of things before I go into my Las Vegas schedule. Let me see something right quick. Y'all bear with me for a second. So, they got some... Oh, I knew what I was going to say. So, according to the Stardom Global Twitter, so they made a post that said Cinderella Tournament 2026 kicks off in Nagoya. Stay tuned for the full match card announcement this week. And it says tune in live on Stardom World at 7 p.m. JST. So I took that as in they're going to be revealing the bracket. Which 7 p.m. JST, that's 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, but yeah, they posted that 2 hours ago. So yeah, I definitely believe they're getting ready to reveal the bracket. They're getting ready to reveal the bracket. Which makes sense. Because, I mean, March 6th is this Friday. This Friday is when the Cinderella tournament begins. So yeah, it makes sense that they're going to go ahead and announce the bracket. So once they announce the bracket, then, like I said, I'm going to do a live stream with a special guest. And we're going to give our predictions March Madness style. So that should be a lot of fun. Blood Money says at 6 p.m. in my country in Malaysia. Oh, you're in Malaysia. Oh, okay. Right on. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, had to mention that. And don't forget, March 4th, New Japan Cup begins. So, speaking of which, the New Japan Cup, they're going to start off with... They got their preview up. So, they're only doing 2 New Japan Cup matches this Wednesday, which are Aaron Wolf versus Don Fale, and the main event will be Yuya Uemura versus Great Okan. So they're only doing those two matches for Wednesday. So which I need to go through an update. Oh wait, never mind. I already did that. Okay, and then interesting. That's right. Friday is also the New Japan anniversary show. So wow, dang, they got the New Japan anniversary show and the Cinderella tournament opening day 1 on the same date. Dang. There's going to be a lot of pro wrestling to look forward to this week. I mean, the usual weekly shows. You got the New Japan Cup on Wednesday. You got the New Japan anniversary event and Stardom Cinderella tournament opening starting Friday. You got NXT Vengeance Day this Saturday. Dang. And then next week, both the Cinderella tournament finals and AEW Revolution are on the same day. Wow. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be really crazy. Okay. So, now let's go into what's my schedule for Vegas, for pro wrestling shows in Vegas. So, I pretty much got an idea of each of the shows I plan to attend. Before I go into the specific shows, there is one event that I want to reveal that I do plan on, checking out and whatnot, probably throughout the week. And that event is WrestleCon Las Vegas 2026. That's right, WrestleCon returns to Las Vegas this year during Mania Week. And it will be at the Horseshoe. The Horseshoe in Vegas, which is on the Strip. But yeah, it was at, last year, it was at the, oh my goodness, where the heck was it? Oh, the Westgate. It was at the Westgate last year, and for Awesome Kong as well. So just those two. I'm also waiting about Dakota Kai. I believe they said she's going to be there Friday and Saturday. So have to see if she's going to open up for pre-orders. But I would love to meet Dakota Kai. So those are the 3 that are on my radar so far. So we'll see what happens. And, you know, they're still going to keep announcing more guests for WrestleCon. I have no doubt. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get started. Oh, also, 2 things. 1, cards subject to change, if you know what I mean. And 2, as of now, I have no plans on attending WWE World. I know that's something that I attended last year, but I don't really have any plans to attend WWE World this year. Last year, I pretty much met everybody that I really wanted to meet, so I just don't really see any point in me going. And like I said, that could change. Maybe as the schedule as it gets closer and they release the schedule. I mean, it depends on who's going to be available at certain time slots. I might consider it, but as of now, I have no plans on doing WWE World. So that's probably going to be out of the question for this year. Anyway, let's get into the shows. Okay, first up, and this is one that I'm actually looking very forward to. All right, first up is Pandemonium Pro Wrestling with Whatever Forever. And this show will be April 15th at 3 p.m. at the Bazaar Bar. So, definitely Otis, the beefy one, 8206. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Thank you so much. But, you have to see, let me see something. One second. I may have to pull this up on my phone. Okay. So, 3 p.m. at the Bazaar Bar. And special guest ring announcer will be none other than Sayori Namba. Wow, can you believe that? Sayori Namba will be the special guest ring announcer for the show. Definitely looking forward to this show. I didn't get a chance to attend the one that they did last year, but once I pretty much saw that she got announced as the ring announcer, that pretty much was what pulled me in to get a ticket, you know, if I can be honest. So I'm definitely excited for this show. There was a number of names on that list that I'm not too familiar with.
Pretty much.
So I'm actually pretty excited to check out the talent that's going to be booked for the show. They also had names like Alexis Lee, Janai Kai, Sobrano Jr., like, those are some familiar names. But they had some other names on there that I'm not too familiar with. So I'm actually looking very forward to this show. But yeah, that'll be my first show of the trip. But yeah, Pandemonium Pro. Looking forward to it, and got a front row seat for that one. So that should be fun, fun, fun. Alrighty. The next show, and of course, I'm very excited for this show because I actually got to see this promotion last year. But next show will be Dragon Gate. Dragon Gate USA presents The Gate of Sin City. That's right. Dragon Gate returns once again to Vegas, and their show will be at the Horseshoe. They're doing a special VIP meet and greet at 7 p.m. Doors open at 7:30. Bell time is at 8. So definitely excited for this. I did the VIP meet and greet last year, and it was such an excellent experience. Although they did it for longer, for like an hour and 15, 20 minutes last year, which was really good. So they're doing a shorter one, but still, it's exclusive for those that get a VIP ticket. So, and what they usually do is they will give you a packet of 8x10 portraits of each of the wrestlers that you can go around and get signed. So, looks like they're going to do that again this time. And yeah, I did indeed get a VIP ticket. Will also be front row as well. But yeah, Dragon Gate is a promotion that I definitely fell in love with a long time ago when they were doing the Dragon Gate USA tours pretty consistently. Because I actually been to a Dragon Gate USA show when they came to North Carolina many, many years ago, which was a great, great show. I mean, they had Ricochet on there. They had Akira Tozawa, Johnny Gargano, Shima, Naruki Doi, John Moxley, Pac. I mean, they had a lot of talent on that card. Rich Swann, Sami Callihan. I mean, it was such a great show, and I was front row for that. So, yeah, definitely have a place in my heart for Dragon Gate. I can't say that I lately have consistently kept up with a lot of what's going on in Dragon Gate, but it still has a place in my heart as a promotion. So, definitely excited for Dragon Gate USA returning with the Gate of Sin City. I'll be there, VIP, front row. Looking forward to it. And like I said, that show is at, bell time is at 8 p.m. Meet and greet at 7. Regular doors open, 7:30. Good, good, good. Okay, and then I'm doing one more show on the 15th, which I'm not familiar with this promotion, but I figured, why not check it out? So the last show I'm going to do on the 15th is the Hybrid Wrestling / Pro Wrestling Unplugged show, which will also be at the Horseshoe. So 2 shows at the Horseshoe for Wednesday. And it will be at 11:59 p.m., which, you know, might as well say midnight. But yeah, I figured why not? Because it's pretty much going to be right after the Dragon Gate show. So I figured, why not? So, not really sure what to expect for this one. But I figured why not? You know, just to have a show on there that I could check out. So, I mean, yeah. I don't really know a lot of what to expect. But they did have some interesting names on the card. Want to see if I can go back and check them out. But they had some interesting names on the card. Like, I believe they had Gangrel on the card. I believe Joey Janela is on the card. There was a couple of other names as well. But PCO is on the card. One called Manders is on the card. I mean, there's a lot of interesting names on here. The Grayson brothers, which are the Backseat Boys. They're on the card. Effie's on the card. Jasmine Allure, Brittany Brooks are on the card. Ooh, Fatal 4-Way. Oh, interesting. Okay. Ooh, Jack Evans is on the card. Nice. I'm just now seeing this. Mercedes Martinez, Mara Sade is on there. Oh, snap. Okay. Bustah and the Brain are going to host a tag team open challenge. Ooh, Matt Tremont is on there. Kerry Morton, Marcus Mathers. Ooh. Okay. Now I'm actually more excited about this card. Ooh. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. And I got a front row for that show as well. So, hey. Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. So, looking forward to that show. And that's how I will close out Wednesday the 15th. So, okay. All right. Let's go to Thursday, the 16th of April. Let's go over the lineup that I have. So, starting off. Oh, yeah. Like I said, still one of the big surprising announcements. But yeah, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling presents TJPW Live in Las Vegas 2026. And that will be how I start my day off on April 16th at 11 a.m. And this will be at the Pearl Theater at the Palms Casino Resort. Which they did a show last year at the same venue as part of the collective. But this time, they're doing the show under a different banner, a collaborative banner of the Palms Slamfest. That's right, they're part of Slamfest this year, not part of the collective, but still using the same venue that they did last year. But still, it's looking to be a lot of fun, and like I said, this will be my second Teej show this year, because I'm also doing the Dallas show as part of the Texas Stampede later this month. But still, can never get enough of TJPW. Like I said, I just think it's really cool that just out of nowhere, they announced this surprise, because many were thinking that they weren't even going to do Vegas. And they already got a pretty full plate so far this year. I mean, they got the Texas Stampede coming up later in March. End of March, they got Grand Princess 26 back in Japan. And then beginning of April, they're going to be in Vancouver, Canada for 2 shows. And then following week, they're going to be, or later that week, they're pretty much going to be in Vegas. So, and then later on near the end of April, they're going to be in, some of the talent's going to be in Italy. So, Teej is going to be very busy, and, like, it's not even, we're still in the first half of the year. So, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. But yeah. So yeah, that's 11 a.m. Got front row for that show. Shout out to Andy Zyke. Appreciate you. I know it was really hard getting tickets using the Access app. That had its issues, but hey, I prefer that over Ticketmaster. So hey, it's all good. Okay. All right, and then the next show I got planned for, and I'm looking very forward to this. They didn't have like a special name for this one, but the fact that I am going to get a chance to attend this, that's right, also part of Slam Fest, CMLL. That's right, CMLL will be doing a show at 2:30 p.m. also at the Palms Pearl Theater on the 16th. It's so funny because I told myself a long time ago that it would be cool to check out like a Mexican or Latin American promotion like a Lucha Libre AAA or CMLL. And sure enough, CMLL's coming to Vegas. So, hey, I'll take it. I will take it. So, now my knowledge isn't too strong of CMLL. It's still pretty green, but hey, I definitely enjoy my share of Lucha Libre. CMLL, one of the oldest promotions still in existence. So I actually look very forward to checking out this promotion live. So CMLL, looking forward to it. They haven't announced talent yet for this show, so definitely will be keeping an eye out for that. But yeah, I'm also going to be, well, technically kind of front row for this, but a little bit further back from, like, the floor area. So more of the front row, lower level is where I'm going to be at for this show. So, but hey, definitely looking forward to some CMLL. That should be a lot of fun. And that's at 2:30 p.m. I think it's like doors open at 2:30 and the show starts at 3. But yeah. But pretty much 2:30 just to be safe. Let's see. Oh, Japanese Women Wrestling Movement. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Tomohiro Ishii versus Oleg, match of the night. Syuri versus Athena was also strong. Yota-Tsuji versus Andrade was really good match. Didn't really care for Ricochet, Taiji, Ishimori. Even though it was their first meeting. But I feel you. Overall, it was a really great show. It was a really great show. I enjoyed it. Okay. So, the next match on the radar for me for April 16th. A show I'm very excited about, especially with the card that they got in the mix for this. And that is West Coast Pro Wrestling's West Coast versus the World. And this will be taking place on at the Bazaar Bar at 7 p.m. And this is one of the shows that's part of the new initiative called Shooting Star Fest. But yeah, West Coast Pro Wrestling. I've never gotten a chance to see a West Coast Pro show live, so I'm actually looking very forward to this one. And I have to say, the talent that they got lined up, I mean, they got Mio Momono, Senka Akatsuki, Aja Kong, Johnny Robbie, Miko Alano. I mean, they got some pretty cool names lined up for this show. So very, very looking forward to this show. And, you know, hey, Senka returning to Vegas. You know, Senka had quite an impactful presence last year. So, hey, good to see her back. Mio Momono, good to see her in Vegas. She wasn't in Vegas last year because, you know, she was recovering from injury. But we're going to get Mio Momono this time in Vegas, so I think that's really cool. But yeah, I'll be front row for West Coast versus the World. Should be very exciting. But yeah, that's at the Bazaar Bar, 7 p.m. Thursday night. And then the last show that I plan on attending Thursday night to close out the evening. And this was a promotion that I felt had one of the best shows in Vegas last year. And that is Marvelous. That's right. That's Marvelous Women's Pro Wrestling returns to Vegas. And they will be at the Bazaar Bar as well. And that will be at 10:30 p.m. So 10:30 p.m. for that show. Pretty much is going to be right after the West Coast versus the World show. So definitely excited to see Marvelous. Again, this will be pretty much my second Marvelous show. Because like I said, last year's was a lot of fun. And they had, a lot of big names participate last year. I mean, they had Ai Hozan, they had Senka Akatsuki, they had Sora Ayame, Takumi Aroha, they had Magenta. They had a great lineup. They had a great lineup last year. Like I said, excellent show. And I'm looking forward to seeing who they'll have put together for this one. I think it's safe to say Senka's going to be on the card and Mio Momono's going to be on the card. I think that's safe to say. But hopefully Magenta will come back through. Hopefully Takumi Aroha will come back through. Wouldn't mind seeing Ai Hozan and Sora Ayame again. That would be cool. But yeah, should be an awesome show. But yeah, that's how I will close out my Thursday night in Vegas with some Marvelous. Okay. Now, let's go to shows for Friday the 17th. So, here we go. Here we go. So, for Friday, April 17th. First up, of course, this is an obvious one. That's right. Stardom comes back to Vegas once again with Stardom American Dream 2026 in Las Vegas as part of Slamfest. And this will take place at the Pearl Theater at the Palms. And 3 p.m. Which I believe they will, doors open at 2:30, but yeah, bell time's at 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. But yeah, I've attended the last year's doubleheader Stardom shows. They were good, and I even attended the Stardom show they did in Philly in 2024. So definitely excited to see the ladies of Stardom make a return to Vegas. No idea what the card is going to be like. They've already announced the talent. Too bad no God's Eye. Was bummed about that. But they still have a lot of great names on there for this show. So, don't think we're going to get any championship matches either. But it should be a good show. Should still be a good show. And like I said, you got some ladies making their U.S. debut as well, like Natsupoi, Aya Sakura, Fua-chan, Yuria Hime, Rina, so we're going to get a chance to see them on U.S. soil. So that's very exciting. So got that to look forward to. But yep, and I'll be front row for that. Once again, shout out to Andy Zyke for the hookup. Appreciate you. Alrighty. So next up, and I'm actually really excited for this one because I've watched a couple of live streams of this promotion, and I've really liked what I've seen, so I'm actually very excited to get a chance to attend one of these in person. But here we go. That's right, also part of Slam Fest. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling presents Multiverse. And that will also take place at the Pearl Theater at the Palms Casino and Resort. And that will be at 7:30 p.m. So definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, one of the premier promotions out of Canada, you know, over there, run by Scott D'Amore. But yeah, definitely excited to check out some Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Should be good. I'm also front row for this as well. But yeah, so get quite a couple of different flavors of pro wrestling. I mean, from Mexico, from Japan, from Canada, for those going to the Progress Wrestling show from the UK. Like, we're going to get all different flavors of pro wrestling during Mania Week in Vegas. So it's a lot to be excited for sure. Okay. And then there's one more show that I've booked for Friday night. It's gonna be a late one, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But we got JCW, which is Juggalo Championship Wrestling, presents Stranglemania Viva Las Violence, which this will take place Friday night, pretty much at midnight, right after the GCW Spring Break show, Joey Janela's Spring Break. And this is part of the collective, so this will be at the Horseshoe. Not sure really what to expect, but, you know, is that promotion under, you know, the Insane Clown Posse and Vince Russo, apparently. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, this was pretty much, I wasn't originally planning on going to this. Somebody that I knew that was going to this couldn't make it or got overbooked for something else. So he pretty much gave me his ticket. And I was just like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, why not? So yeah. So that's how I got this one. And it is a front row ticket as well, which for this show wasn't expensive. So I was just like, why not? Sure. So don't know what to expect from this promotion, but I'll give it a shot. That's all I can really say. But it'll be right after GCW Spring Break, Joey Janela's Spring Break. And that's how I will close out that Friday in Vegas. Okay. And then I have pretty much one more show that I plan on attending. And this one is actually on Sunday. Not on Saturday, but on Sunday. But I'll be attending this. That's right. Spark Joshi Puresu's Lady Luck 2. They return to Las Vegas. They will be... So this is on Sunday, April 19th. Doors open at 11 a.m. Bell times at 12. This will take place at the HyperX Arena at the Luxor Hotel and Casino. I went to Spark Joshi Lady Luck last year in Vegas. Pretty good show. But definitely glad that they're making the return. And being that Stardom will be in town. I got a feeling we're going to see some Stardom wrestlers on the card for this show, just like they did the last 2 years. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Like I said, I know Spark doesn't run a whole lot of shows, but what shows they do run, that I've been able to attend have been pretty good. They got meet and greets as well. So I mean, you know, they're good shows. They don't do a lot of them, but they're good shows. And also got to factor in just WrestleCon meet and greets. We'll have to see if it'll be interesting to see if Stardom partners with WrestleCon again for their meet and greets, because I mean WrestleCon and the Collective are partnered up, so yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that, because now Stardom is under the Slamfest banner, so I don't know if they're gonna do meet and greets. Like, I know Saturday the 18th they're doing a pool party. They're doing like a Palms Slamfest pool party, which there's supposed to be some celebrities and also music, and some of the wrestlers are supposed to make appearances. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what announcements they have, because you know, the last 2 years the Stardom meet and greets have been at WrestleCon, so we'll have to see if the same happens. I don't know. And then again, some of the TJPW stars are going to be doing meet and greets at WrestleCon as well, like Miyu Yamashita, Hyper Misao, Shoko Nakajima, Yuki Aino. So, I mean, Stardom will probably still do the same, you know, even though Tej is part of Slamfest. So, I mean, it could still happen. So, you know, fair point. Japanese Women's Wrestling Movement says, this week is my second time watching a CMLL show. Only watching the Dark Silhouette versus Micah and Luvia and La Jarosita match versus Mayfair and Starlight Kid for the CMLL Women's World Tag Team titles. Ooh, they get a tag title shot? Oh, nice. That's awesome. Dang, I didn't know they get a tag title shot. I knew they were going to be wrestling. I didn't think they were going to get a tag title shot. That's what's up. That's cool. That's really cool. But yeah. So that is what my schedule's looking like in Vegas for the most part. Like I said, card subject to change, but I'm pretty much committing to that. But yeah, whoever's gonna be out there, you know, hit me up. Say hey, you know, let's sync up. You know, it'll be fun. Always enjoy getting a chance to meeting those that, you know, are in my chats and subscribers and all that. It's always good to get a chance to meet other pro wrestling fans. And shout out to all the Joshi fans out there, because Las Vegas Mania week, they're going to get Joshi Mania. It's going to be awesome. Because when you think about it, Joshi Mania, you got 4 promotions. You got Spark Joshi, Stardom, TJPW, and Marvelous. So, Joshi fans, you're gonna really get your fill in. You're gonna really get your fill in Vegas. Not to mention, you don't have to worry about any of those shows overlapping each other, because all 4 of them are on separate days. So you don't even have to worry about conflicting schedules. So, shout out to all the Joshi fans. Joshi Mania will be live in Las Vegas this year. It's a lot to be excited about. Should be a lot of fun. And yeah, got some firsts that I'm looking forward to for Vegas. Like I said, first time checking out a West Coast pro wrestling show, Pandemonium Pro Wrestling, shout out to Heart Editing, Hybrid Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Unplugged, JCW, CMLL, Maple Leaf Pro. So a lot of promotions will be checking out live for the first time. So very excited. Should be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's my Las Vegas Mania week schedule. But anyway, that's all I got for this live stream. Want to thank everybody for coming out, chatting it up with me. And those that catch the archive, let me know what y'all thought of New Japan Pro Wrestling's The New Beginning in USA 2026. Let me know what you thought. And let me know, for all those that are going to be in Vegas for Mania Week, let me know what shows you plan on attending. What promotions are you excited about? Are you even going to WrestleMania? I'm not going to WrestleMania. Are you going to WWE World? I have no plans. But yeah, let me know what promotions you're going to check out in Vegas. And yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, all of the above. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. And yeah, the month of March is here. Only in a couple of weeks will be the Taiji Texas Stampede Tour. Looking forward to it. Should be awesome. But anyway, for this live pro wrestling talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming, my name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. God bless you, and hope everybody has a awesome start to the week. And I'll see y'all in the next video.